I need to finish this car because I'm taking it drifting in just 3 days. And today is going to be the most expensive episode of the build so far because it's getting a brand new set of Feal drift coilovers, a Mega Mantis angle kit from FDF Race Shop, and a brand new set of wheels and tires. And spoiler alert, I made it to the track. And it was a blast. If you guys want to see that video, make sure to hit that subscribe button. So the back of the car is already disassembled from the first episode of this build, so I think we're going to start back here first. But unfortunately, these coils are too tight to just pull out, so I think we're going to start off by undoing the upper strut mounts, and hopefully that'll let the rear end drop enough that I can just pull these coils out by hand. Oh, that's all billet. That's so nice. I don't know if this is the best way of doing this, but I can't stick this up in there and reach around and get a nut on the top. So what I'm doing is using a couple zip ties, hold this up in place so that I can reach around onto the top side and put the nut onto it. The only coilovers I'm used to running, and that's mainly because I have such old cars, are the kind of cut and weld style coilovers, which I feel like they always feel just a little bit cobbled together. They never feel like a perfect solution. So I'm really hoping these feel way, way better than what I'm used to driving. I can't wait to have this thing out on the track and see how these coils work. Especially because these are the first set I've ever had that are designed specifically for drift applications. All right, the rear suspension is all done. I left the stock wheels on for now just so I can do a neat comparison between the front and rear of the car. And I kind of want to wait till the front suspension is done to put the wheels on so I can see the whole package all at once. So let's lower this thing down and see how slammed it is. I haven't made any adjustments yet. Oh God, that looks so good. That looks so good. Wow. It's not fully slammed yet. I can lower this quite a bit still, but I'm really happy with this ride height so far. Oh God, it's really stiff too. That looks so good. It looks really low, especially with the side skirts on there. That looks fantastic. Oh, I'm stoked with that. I can't wait to get the front on. Let's start tearing into that now so we can see the full package. This kit looks so nice, but my caster plates are missing. That's like a vital part. I could install, the coilovers have camber plates on top, but I know that these cars are notorious for having really poor self-steering, so I'd really like to have the caster plates, and I did order them, and they're not here. So I don't really want to install those because I'd have to disassemble literally everything to put the plates in after the fact, but I do have a plan, and I think it's gonna be easier to just show you guys instead of explaining it. Well, I didn't think there was any hope of making it to the track after realizing the parts were missing. I sent an email off to FDF last night at about 5:30 p.m. just in case, and by 12 o'clock today, the parts were ready to go. Super nice guys. They actually let me come in person to pick these up so I could get them quicker, and they gave me a tour of the place while I was here. Super nice guys, And now, as long as there's no other major hangups, we're gonna make it to the track this weekend. So let's go put the parts on the car. Now this should be a fairly quick install on the front, as long as everything isn't too rusty under here. Oh wow, who could have seen this coming? Now I know you guys are gonna be begging me not to do this, but this is the end of the brake caliper covers. Okay, so I decided to tackle the other side of the car before putting the angle kit on because I was starting to get really worried with how rusty and old the hardware was, that something was gonna snap or strip or whatever. So now that all of the old stuff is out of the car, our chances of making it to the track this weekend have gone way up. And now we are gonna tackle the caster camber plates. So those go underneath here, something like, the bolts aren't set in the right positions yet, but as you can see, there's gonna be some major interference with the upper mount hole here, so we're gonna have to do a little bit of cutting. Another great thing about Mustangs, you can get color match paint right off the shelf. If you're a body guy, you're probably gonna want to look away for this. God, this stuff goes on thick. Today is the last day that I have to be working on this car. We are supposed to be at the track with it tomorrow. In theory, should be easy. All we have to do is bolt stuff on, but we still have to do the front suspension, the angle kit, and get the tires mounted. Hopefully everything goes smoothly, but let's try to get it done. So one thing I'm gonna try to do while I'm putting all of this on the car is I'm gonna try to set everything to the kind of the midway point. So if I need to adjust anything, I have the option of adjusting it in or outwards. Another thing I'm gonna try to do is make sure that both sides are symmetrical. A lot of alignment shops around here don't like touching race cars, especially with Heim joints, because they're kind of annoying to align. So at least if I'm doing the alignment myself, at least I'll know I'll be starting off with everything symmetrical left to right. The very first part of the angle kit I went to put on, and we already have a big snag. This is super frustrating. So all of the hardware that the kit comes with is already installed. Everything else, that, like if there's no hardware, you reuse OEM hardware. So for parts like this, OEM hardware. Now let me show you where the snag is. You guys might not care about this stuff, but I think it's neat to illustrate how frustrating some of this stuff can be. So nice machined hole there. Hopefully it's focusing. That goes through no problem. But see how close the tolerance is between the bolt and this flange here? The OEM hardware that they said to use has got a massive flange on it too, and it doesn't fit. Even if I try to retract the bolt and start the nut in here, it still doesn't line up. It's butted up against there. So I don't have any of these bolts on hand, so I'm just gonna try to take a flap wheel and sand this washer part off, and hopefully it works. Gonna see if I can get this side in, sort of all in one piece here. I know it's probably bad to hold onto the shaft with a pair of vice grips, but I put it near the top, and in theory that shouldn't be getting used. Oh, there we go. That's nuts. Okay, so I finally got this side all put together. It actually wasn't too bad after I had gotten everything adjusted on the bench, but it is insane. Like, you can see, I need to do the alignment obviously, but you can see that almost the whole hub past the fender. This thing is gonna have, I took a lot of track width out of it already, and this thing is gonna look gnarly. It's gonna look like a drift car. I'm really excited to see. So I'm gonna knock out the other side off camera real quick, and we'll check back in with you guys when it's time to put the tires on. God, I am absolutely filthy, but I think we're gonna make it tomorrow. So these are Vors wheels. These are 18 by 9.5 plus 22, and I've got 6 of them. We've also got, these are Valino. They used to be called Griva. I think they're called Ebisu Matsuri now. And these are 235, 40, 18. And I'm running these all the way around. I'll probably end up stepping up to a bigger tire, but I didn't want to go too crazy for my first outing. So let's get these mounted. They look sick with the rubber on there. A little bit of stretch, but nothing too crazy. Yeah, I'm excited to see how these look on the car. So you guys probably noticed in the background the bumper was off, the rear bumper's off too, and that's just some stuff I'm doing kind of behind the scenes just to get this car to pass tech. I'm adding some tow hooks, I had to build a battery tie down, stuff like that. I'm probably gonna have to raise this suspension quite a bit still, but at least we'll make it to the track. I can align it tomorrow. God, that looks so good. How's the poke? Oops. It's not. Let me show you guys. It's bad, but it's not as bad as I thought. Like, for a drift car, it's gonna have some poke, and we can bring the top in quite a bit. We can narrow the track width quite a bit. That doesn't look too bad. That looks really good, actually. Oh, that's gonna be low. Way lower than the back is. I'm gonna have to lower that some more. God, okay, we gotta get the rest of the tires on. This looks so good. That's enough to get it on the trailer, at least. Guys, I can't believe we actually finished this car in time to make it to the track tomorrow. So I'm going to start loading this thing up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.